how can a free tool like pgtune help with Postgres? And at what point does it hit a wall, and you're just going to get more out of something like an AutoTune?
So when you first install Postgres and MySQL, there's a default configuration that you get with certain settings for these knobs. If you're running on-prem on local hardware and you're using like a Linux package installer, or even download the binaries directly from Postgres and MySQL websites, there's going to default configuration is going to be woefully conservative. Right? They're going to assume you're running on a box with 128 megabytes of RAM, which in modern times that's it's not realistic. So if you deploy your database on Amazon RDS, Amazon has updated the configurations a little bit to reflect the hardware they're actually running on. But even then, they're still pretty conservative. It's sort of the lowest common denominator configuration. So then there's tools like pgtune where they try to provide a more optimal configuration for a small number of knobs. The basic way these tools work is you punch in your hardware size, how much CPU you have, what your disk looks like, how much RAM you have, a rough characterization of what the workload looks like. And then they have some basic rules to say, if your workload looks this, then this knob should be set to that. And so pgtune will do better than the default configuration that Amazon gives you, and certainly what the package installer gives you. But it's not tailored for exactly for how your application wants to use the database. So this is where AutoTune comes in. So AutoTune is using machine learning to learn how your application is actually using the database, using the low-level telemetry that the system collects, and as well as Amazon collects. And then we train these models, then predict how the system will change, behavior will change and improve if you start tuning these knobs. So AutoTune is actually sort of like pgtune, where it is tuning knobs, but it's more refined for exactly how your application is going to use the database. And therefore, we see still significant improvements for people's databases, even after they've already used something like pgtune.